I went on a trip the same day as my father's wedding. Am I the a-hole? This is OKOP, home to the craziest true stories on earth. I'm Sophia and Riley. What trip are you going on that is better than a wedding?
I'm gonna go on a family vacation with in Florida. That's in Florida.
That is fun. So Thrower A admin says, my 18 female father is going to marry his girlfriend next week, a day before my cousin's 21 female's birthday. My mother died 4 years ago, and almost 2 weeks later, I don't think it was even 2 weeks after that, my father was dating that woman.
No.
2 weeks after your mother's death?
Whoa. Whoa.
No. Absolutely not.
There's a rule given by Sam, and
Yeah.
I know that his rules with marriage is very interesting.
Yeah.
But for every year you married someone, make that a month. You have to stay single for 16 months. I'm just saying that they stayed together during that. They may have had some time. But let's just assume 20 months.
Yeah.
You got to stay single for 20 months before you go out and date again.
Yeah. This just seems... this is outrageous.
That's
to not even
quickly.
wait 2 weeks before you start dating someone. It seems like there might have been something going on before.
It's a little bit like icebergs coming very closely. Like they're two big things, but they look like they're overlapping or touching. Was there an overlap?
Yeah, so I'm wondering, was there already an overlap in that relationship? I was grieving and I had to tolerate a total stranger in the house. My father told me that he had met the woman at work. The doubt that she has always been my father's mistress has been in my head, but I don't know. I don't like her anyways. My cousin organized a trip to the beach, which will last a week. It was given to her by my aunt and uncle because she won a scholarship overseas in college.
Oh, nice.
Nice. My aunt and uncle won't go to the wedding. Some of my other cousins won't go to the wedding to go to the trip too. My cousin arranged the trip entirely on purpose to ruin my father's wedding since my mother was her godmother. Petty.
Whoa.
Petty.
She's got some skin in the game here too.
Oh my God.
Oh.
My father was mad at her, but my cousin told him that she's not going to cancel her trip for a second wedding. Or in her words, I'm much more interested in seeing the grass grow than in your wedding. Oh my God. Oh my God, this cousin is out for blood. Yowza. Today, my father found out that I will be going to the trip too. He's totally mad at me. He even cried, telling me that everyone is punishing him for finding love. I asked him if my mother wasn't the love of his life then, and he kept crying, saying that I don't understand because I'm too young. He says that every time I try to talk about something serious with him, even when I want to talk about politics or something important, it's his way of shutting me up. And he just finally found love. His words, he said his girlfriend is the real love of his life. Good for him, I guess. My mother always said he was the love of her life until the last day. And because of his words, my mother was never the love of his life. I think I feel sad to think about how my mother would feel if she could hear my father say that he finally found real love, when in my mother's eyes and words, he was her soulmate. Aw. Can you really find the love of your life in 2 weeks? I understand that grief is different for everyone, but who grieves spending Christmas with your new girlfriend and not with your daughter who lost her mother? So he neglected me since then, even though I was a teenager. Everything was always about how he feels and wants.
Oh.
That's so sad. I can't believe he didn't spend Christmas with his daughter.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Just lost her mother. Wow. I told him that I will go on the trip and I don't want to attend his wedding, and he kept crying. My paternal grandmother called me to pray and tell me that I'm being unfair to my father who just found love again, but I just don't want to go or be near him. I stopped being close to my dad a long time ago, and my perception of what a father figure has been almost totally erased from my mind.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, there is an edit, but yeah. Like, he does not deserve anyone to be at this wedding.
It's just so hard to switch from your mother is my soulmate.
Yeah.
I love your mother so much to immediately saying, I found the love of my life.
Well, I think that's what the mom had said about him. I think the mom was like, he's my soulmate, even like till her death. And I don't know if he necessarily said that. All we know is that after she died, he was like, oh, this is my actual love of my life.
Yeah.
It wasn't your mom. Yeah. There's an edit. My parents didn't have an open marriage or anything like that. My mother wouldn't have thought twice before divorcing him if he hinted something like that, because she was always 100% traditional woman in relationship topics. I remember her disgust about those topics. Haha. My mother always made it clear that she would divorce if she thought the marriage was bad. She was always totally open with me about those issues, even personal matters, as we had too much trust in each other. So I'm sure that in her eyes, she had a healthy and normal marriage. We were all shocked with the fact that my father introduced his girlfriend when we were all grieving. It's something no one understands to this day. Info, my mother died really quickly from a virus/bacteria. She died within a month and a few days, and no one expected her to die. Not even my mother expected her health to get like this. She believed to the last day that she would live. The person who took the most care of her in the hospital was my grandmother. There are some additional comments.
That's the crazy part, because if it was like...
He wasn't even taking care of her?
Yeah, like it's been a years of her mom not doing well. He's taking care of her. He's getting tired of it. He seeks, usually if someone's like pregnant or has cancer, they should have a partner on the side. Yeah. But a month? Out of nowhere?
A month? Yeah. That's also not even enough time for him. Like, not to say that this would be okay either, but like we hear stories about people who are dealing with these like long-term illnesses, and then the husband or the partner like grows out of love or like loses that, like you've already grieved over the course of those years.
Yeah.
And then, at the end they fall into a new relationship soon after, but which is also like not great either. But this is literally a month. Prior to this was, healthy, presumably healthy, long marriage. And then after literally a month, he just gets with a new person.
That's insane to me.
That's crazy.
Oh.
No. But there are some additional... What?
My conspiracy theory, there was an overlap.
I think there was 100% an overlap. I think,
They worked together, right?
Did they?
That's what he said. He met her through work.
Yeah. No, that's just so suspicious. Because, like, also, why else would this woman have... If they worked together, she presumably would have heard about him losing his wife.
Yeah, and, like, to be smart, I mean, I know a relationship can get pretty fast in 2 weeks, but... your brain's fully developed, my guy.
Yeah.
Your wife just died.
You have a daughter.
Play it a little bit. Be like 3 months later.
Yeah.
At least play 3 months if you're going to do this.
New girlfriend. Yeah.
Do that. Not
2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks.
Everyone's grieving. Come on, dog.
Yeah.
It might be his messed up way of coping.
Apparently. But there are some additional comments from OP in response. Relevant comments. Tight lips. Oh, thick hips, tight lips. Not the a-hole. Do what you want. If you don't respect the relationship, why would you want to go anyways? Besides, I get the feeling this woman was involved with your dad before your mom passed. Because who the F moves someone in 2 weeks after their wife dies? A cheater. That's who. He's just mad that everyone sees through his BS. I wouldn't go either. OP responds, she didn't move into the house instantly, but she went every day and stayed overnight. It was really uncomfortable. I always suspected that she was my father's mistress, but I never asked because my father would deny it anyway. And Rough Single says, gosh, he abandoned you when you were 14 years old to spend Christmas with his new girlfriend right after you lost your mother. And mind you, his wife, not the a-hole, but he sure is. OP says, when Christmas came, he decided to go on a trip with his girlfriend without even inviting me because I never liked Christmas anyways. I spent that Christmas with my mother's family. 2 weeks after his...
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
What the...
He's a horrible person.
Oh.
And there is an update.
That's insane.
Oh my God.
I could not imagine.
I can't imagine that.
Having Christmas with someone that's not my family.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, this is
their
their family, but like not my immediate family after losing my mother.
That's whack. That's what I meant. But that's whack.
So selfish of him.
Oh.
Wow. There is an update. Hopefully it gets better.
Hopefully
they have a really fun time on their trip. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh, thanks to the comments that day, I decided to talk with my father and ask him if he cheated on my mother. Wow. I got really anxious and just needed to know the truth because it was something that made me feel really nervous. After insisting and hearing him cry, he confessed to me that he had been talking and going to places with his girlfriend/friend for a while my mother was still alive and even before she got sick. My mother didn't know that my father had that kind of relationship, and it was all behind her back.
Oh.
Wow.
There was an overlap.
He sucks. The audacity to not only have like to cheat on your wife. Yeah, to cheat on your wife, period, but to continue the relationship after she died.
That's so crazy.
Absolutely wild.
It was just like convenient for you that she died. I wonder what his freaking mindset was while she was like sick.
Yeah.
Was he like, oh, hopefully she dies?
Yeah, hopefully she stays like, like, oh my God.
Oh. Do you think like she helped her a lot, or do you think he kind of like half-assed it too?
I don't know. I don't know, because it seems like the grandma helped the most.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he seems like a horrible person. When my mother died, his girlfriend at the time approached him to comfort him. He didn't say exactly when, but I guess that obviously it was between those 2 weeks. I want to think it wasn't the day my mom passed away because it was unexpected and we were all too busy. Ugh. My father told me that it was the first time they had physical contact, but he always felt guilty about his friendship with that woman. As you should. It doesn't matter if you felt freaking guilty.
Friendship, so.
Yeah. Quote unquote friendship.
So
emotional cheating.
Emotional cheating, taking away the physical side. Yeah. Still so bad. I'm not very familiar with the subject, but I think it's what people call emotional cheating. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I only know that he kept it a secret because he knew he was doing something bad. I asked him if he and my mother were having marital problems, and he said no, not at all. According to my father, his friendship with his girlfriend was something he planned to keep as a secret forever when my mother was alive and healthy. Weird. Father told me that he thought he loved my mother until he kissed his girlfriend and decided that we only live once. So that's why he took her home just 2 weeks later after my mom died and did everything he wanted with her. My father's logic was that his job gave him a week of mourning, so according to him, 2 weeks was enough mourning for me. No. Absolutely not. Just because your work gives you that time off doesn't mean that like you have to put oh my God. That's insane.
No. Oh my. I just can't believe that he took this woman into their home where his daughter was actively grieving the loss of her mother. Wow.
Right?
What was he thinking?
He wasn't thinking.
He wasn't thinking. He was just thinking about, being with this new relationship.
And I guess like once he kissed her, he was like, oh, I effed up. But conveniently, I can make this happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yikes. I told him that while he fulfilled his fantasies, I was alone in her home, and he kept saying that. And he kept saying the same things like, OP, you were almost 15 years old. You were already a woman at your age. I was already working, blah, blah, blah. I don't think I'll ever get to that level of maturity to understand his mind.
No.
Also, didn't they establish at the beginning of the story that when she tried to bring up serious topics, he was like, you're too young to understand?
Yeah, that's true. Like politics or anything like that.
Hypocrisy? He's like, oh, you were old enough at 15 to like get over the death of your mother 2 weeks later.
Yeah, and then the maturity thing. Sounds like he keeps bringing up like you're mature enough right now to handle that, but she's a 15-year-old girl.
15-year-old.
Her mom just died.
Yeah. But at like, how old is she now? Do we know?
18.
But at 18, she's too young to like talk about this. I asked him if he thought about cutting off contact with his girlfriend if my mother found out, and he said something like, no, I wouldn't cut contact with his girlfriend's name. It was just an innocent secret, and your mother never found out. I told him my mother would cut off his balls if she heard him say that, and he started crying again. Oh my God, brutal. Jesus. But anyway, all of this doesn't change anything. The result is still the same. A father who neglected his daughter.
Oof.
100%. I said a lot of things to him. I've been going to the psychologist for years, so I know how to manage my feelings. But at that moment, I told him everything I've been keeping to myself, and he cried again. Isn't that weird? Cry when you're the one who screwed up. I only feel bad for my mother and myself. For now, I warned him that I'm going to rent the house to make money and cut off contact with him when he leaves the house with his girlfriend. He didn't complain about that because at least he had always agreed that the house is mine. I'm not going to leave him homeless or anything like that. I'm not going to his wedding. I'm not going to invite him to my wedding in the future. I don't care if my future kids don't have a grandparent or anything like that. I think years ago I lost both parents, but luckily I have my family. That's good. At least they're the cousins. I see myself as a person who had to mature quickly. My mother left me in charge of my father, but my father maybe decided to bury his paternal instinct next to my mother, or maybe he never had one. He was always a regular father, so I don't care if I don't see him again. Yeah. I don't feel anything for my father's girlfriend, but I just don't like her because I would never date a man who neglected his daughter. And she's going to marry a man like that. Anyways, we never argued. I don't hate her at all. I hope she's my father's final real love. Yeah. There are people who commented saying that I was making my father look bad on purpose and that I was probably a brat who has had bad behavior just because I'm a teen and my mom died. Even if that was true, that's so warranted.
Yeah, she's valid for that.
She was a teen and her mom died and her dad wasn't like around.
That's, yeah.
Come on. Who's saying that? I'm going to fight him.
Red pill Reddit.
Yeah. I don't understand what kind of education those people had, but being a teenager doesn't mean that we let ourselves be carried away by our feelings. Sometimes a minor can speak much calmer and in control than an adult, and that doesn't mean that I want to play myself as a saint. I really don't know where I went wrong for my father to prefer to forget that he has a daughter. I don't know what I could have done wrong. Maybe the key was to yell at him and make a tantrum to get his attention, as some comments said. But I stopped caring a long time ago.
You didn't do anything wrong.
You did nothing wrong. Absolutely not. And there are some top comments, but no, that is not at all your fault. Your father is a horrible father.
It's interesting that she thinks that, because a lot of parents, if their kids don't turn out to be the person they want them to be, they're like, what did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? But it's the daughter now thinking.
Yeah. Well, she had to take on kind of like a parental role.
Yeah.
Of like her own childhood. Yeah.
She had to raise herself.
Yeah. But there are some top comments. Mustang 1967 says, I'm sorry for your hurt and pain. Make sure you keep going to therapy, but it will never help you understand why. The other woman knew what she was doing, and so did your father. Learn to move on, and one day maybe you can forgive to help. Maybe you can forgive to help yourself heal. Significant Cat 3 said, yeah, that was definitely an emotional affair, and your father was crying because some part of him knows he's wrong and that he cheated and was neglectful. I'll never know how someone can be with a cheater who is also a neglectful parent. Wow. Why? Why?
It's tough. The friendship part, the fact that he was going to keep it under wraps for a very long time. No, it was so
obviously like emotionally cheating on his wife. The fact that he had to keep it a secret was the first indicator that it was a bad idea.
That he's going to keep it a secret for the rest of his life. Oh, but he said he kissed her, and he was like, that's the love of my life.
I don't know if he kissed her. I think he might have kissed her after I think he kissed her after the mom's death. Yeah. Still horrible.
Yeah.
Bad dad. Really bad dad.
Yeah, it's funny how different cultures, like in Japan, I think you can physically cheat, but it's more morally wrong to emotionally cheat than physically cheat. While here in America, it's more morally wrong to physically cheat than emotionally cheat, because I feel like a lot of people aren't aware of what emotional cheating looks like, or how that. I mean, some people consider both of them equally wrong.
I would say they're both equally wrong, but I understand what you're saying. Like American culture, it's like, oh, well, they were just flirting, or they were just
they were just talking. Yeah, but like they hooked up.
Yeah. No, they're both equally damaging to a relationship.
Facts.
Yeah, but you know what's not equally damaging?
What's that?
This next story.
Let's go.
Am I the a-hole for not allowing my daughter to significantly alter my wedding dress? What do you think, Riley?
What are we making? What are we adding to it?
Yeah, like what's the vision?
What's the
vision? Is it good?
Is the vision good? Then don't be mad if it's bad.
Yeah.
You have rights.
You have a right to be mad. So Comfortable Love 8350 says, my 44 female daughter, 25 female, is getting married later this year to her girlfriend, 27 female. Oh, before we even go, I understand now. She's saying that the daughter is probably using this dress and wants to alter it.
That's what the title said.
I know, but I thought like the daughter was like for the mom's wedding. I don't know why that was my understanding.
Oh, she's like, Mom, this would look really great.
Yeah, she's like, let me touch it up. Yeah. This makes more sense.
Okay.
I have always dreamed of walking her down the aisle. My husband passed when she was a child. And she enjoyed talking about a future wedding and playing bride when she was a child, picking flowers and colors and venues. She loved watching the videos of my wedding and seeing me and her father get married, and it was important in our bonding. When she was 13, I promised her my wedding dress. However, her clothing style is more manly. She began refusing to wear dresses or skirts when she was in her late teens, even trying to demand her school allow her to wear trousers. As she should. Why is the school not allowing her to wear pants? It was difficult convincing her to wear dresses to formal events. She has gone through phases of wanting short hair, wanting to be a boy, and getting tattoos. I have always been very supportive of all this, even when she met her girlfriend and proposed to her. I have encouraged her as much as I can, and I am contributing significantly to the wedding. I recently called and asked her when she wanted me to bring over the dress, as it would likely need slight alterations, and she dropped the bombshell on me that she wanted to wear a suit and have my wedding dress altered to remove the skirt portion so that the bodice can be worn with trousers. At first I agreed, but dragged my feet bringing the dress over. After a few weeks, I changed my mind and told her that the dress was important to me and I didn't want her to ruin it. When I promised her the dress, it was because I thought she would wear it as a dress, and she would only get to wear it as a dress. I offered that her girlfriend could wear it as a dress instead, but my daughter said that she would still be ruining it. Her girlfriend is a much larger woman than me, so it would need more altering. And has since not been answering my messages except with saying that the dress would be a connection to her dad, so she's disappointed not to have it. I offered to go to dress shopping with her for a replacement, but apparently some of her family think I'm stopping her from having the dress because I disagree with her being masculine. So am I the a-hole for telling her that she can have it as a dress or not have it at all? I may be the a-hole because I promised it to her, but that was when she was very young and before I knew she wanted to change it. And there are some relevant comments, but
whoa,
I think not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole?
I don't think it's fair for OP's daughter to expect that she gets to like significantly alter a like dress that has a lot of significance, especially because OP lost her husband.
Yeah.
And I understand like the daughter wanting to have a connection with her dad, but like at the end of the day, this is OP's dress.
Yeah. Yeah. It is OP's dress. I think it'd be interesting if she could wear something of her dad's on that day, like a
that's
tie
such a great,
or a suit.
That's such a great idea.
That would be cool. I think a tie would be super cool.
Honestly, I think that it's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because she wants to wear like this, the daughter wants to wear something more masculine. And so I think it makes more sense to like
pick on the father's side.
Especially if she wants to have the connection with her dad.
Yeah.
No, because I don't think it's totally fair to ask your mom to like completely change the dress that she, you know.
Yeah, that's a huge ask.
Yeah. I think if the mom was like, no, why are you wearing masculine clothes, blah, 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 that would be a-hole-ish. But that's not what she's doing. She's just saying like, hey, I don't feel comfortable giving this dress knowing that it will be so significantly changed and altered. Yeah. So I think not the a-hole.
And she's been supportive, but this is
that's a huge ask.
Huge ask.
Yeah. But there are some relevant comments. Commenter says, what happens to the dress if she doesn't wear it? Is it just going to sit in storage, or do you still look at it fairly regularly? In other words, what will you lose if she alters it? Opie says, it lives in my closet. I don't seek it out, but I see it. If the dress could be returned to its original state, or is there something from OP's late husband that the daughter could wear, as you said? Thank you. I will be talking to a professional about it if possible, to recover the dress after splitting it. I only have my husband's cufflinks from his wedding suit as he was buried in it, and I will offer her those. You obviously just aren't happy with her not wanting to wear a dress. You would have been fine with significantly altering it for your daughter's fiance, but now you're not. You are homophobic. And you said in the past, it was difficult to convince your daughter to wear dresses to formal events. You have a history of trying to get your daughter to wear dresses instead of respecting your choices. Why did you make her wear them? I think in the past, I guess that's a good point. I forgot that she was asking her daughter to wear dresses and stuff. However, I think in those instances, not great. You know, she should have let her daughter wear what she wants to wear. But I think in this instance, it does seem like it's more from a place of this is like a meaningful dress.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it sounded homophobic earlier because she probably didn't Maybe, I don't know.
OP says, I was trying to prevent her from being judged by people more traditional. That I don't like. I think the past instances were not great, but it seems like she might have grown and stuff and like taken it in. So I'm like not holding that too much against her because she was supportive in the face of the wedding. But then another commenter says, y'all, she doesn't want suggestions. She wants to be vindicated in her homophobia. I don't know if I would go that far. I feel like it's fair to not want to drastically change a dress that had like a really meaningful part to play in your life.
And how can she be homophobic if she has a gay daughter? Come on. Well, she's not homophobic.
Well, she don't think that's exactly how it works, but you know, thank you for your. She's
not.
She's good, guys.
She's good.
I swear.
Yeah, I'm not homophobic. I have a gay friend.
So the commenter also said you would have been fine with significantly altering it for your daughter's fiance, but she wasn't fine with that. Like she brought up the idea, and then after realizing that how much it would have to be changed, she was like, actually, I'm not okay with that either. So I feel like that's not really a point. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think in this instance, not wanting to wanting to keep the dress the same is.
Yeah.
I don't think that's homophobic.
I wouldn't consider it homophobic. No.
OP says, I'm not homophobic. I support my daughter. I've just been surprised and I'm struggling. I've gotten direct messages telling me that I'm right not to give my daughter the dress because they are homophobic and think she should not be getting married. If I didn't feel so strongly about the dress, I would give it to her simply to spite them. Oh, yeah. So she's getting all the homophobes being like, hell yeah, don't give her the dress. They're missing the point. This is so, wow. Yikes. No, I feel like we're getting two extremes on side. And she's just like, I wanted to see if there's a way where I could keep my dress intact.
Just looking for some suggestions.
It's like, I should go on r/sewing.
That's where you should have went.
Yeah. Like she even asked, she already brought up the fact that she went to a tailor. She's going to a tailor to see if she can get it like fixed after it's altered. So like obviously she's open to the suggestions. Commenter, you're the a-hole, read other comments regarding microaggressions, transphobia, homophobia. I want to wear a suit to my wedding too. It's not wrong. If you're unwilling to give your child a family heirloom because you want it to remain untouched, don't offer it to them. OP says, I truly do not want to be microaggressive to my daughter. I offered it to her long before any thought that she would want it to be changed.
Yikes.
I wouldn't change my mom offered me her wedding dress. And if I decided I wanted a completely different dress, I wouldn't wear that one. I would just buy a new one. And OP's not even saying, I am like, you know what? I feel like I'm kind of shocked by the amount of people who are like, you're the a-holing her.
Yeah.
Because I just super disagree. Usually I'm like on the side of the Redditors, but in this case I disagree.
Yeah, it looks like there's a split. She's voted not the a-hole, but there are plenty of
other ones. I don't think we have enough information for people to be like so at our throat.
Like
in the past, like the only things that I've kind of like stuck out to me were her being like, well, I didn't want people to get on her because, or like more traditional people to attack her, because obviously that's just kind of like, you know, not important. And then the other part where she was like, oh, she wanted to be a boy. She wanted to dress like a boy. Obviously that's more traditional mindset. But I think she's probably just like an older lady and she's, you know,
how can I save my dress?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No, I really don't think she's being an a-hole. I think she's just like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
There is an update. So OP is voted not the a-hole, though there are plenty of people who voted both. Update 3 days later.
Ooh.
I posted recently about my daughter surprising me by wanting to turn my wedding dress into a suit, which I refused despite having promised her because the reality hurt me. I was upset and it made me feel better to see people agree with me. But the comments that made me upset made me think the most about the future and helped me empathize with my daughter. My daughter came over tonight and apologized for ignoring me and explained that she had always thought she had been promised she could have the dress to own rather than borrow, so she was sad to have lost that dream. I apologized for if I have ever come off as not supportive of her, as many comments said I sounded homophobic, and I want to be clear that I'm not. I respect and love my daughter. We talked about many things, especially about my husband, how his presence could still be felt on the day, How my daughter felt jealous that her fiance would get to share the day with both of her parents while she had only a memory. We watched the wedding video again. It's been a few years, and cried a bit. Aww. We also had some wine, so I apologize if this is not completely clear. I told her that I hadn't realized how much giving up the dress would hurt, and that I didn't think I could completely sacrifice it, and that I would talk to a tailor about if the dress could be separated and be put back together and returned to me. But if not, then I would help her find a suit as an alternative and give her some of the dress's lining to use. I also surprised her with her father's wedding cufflinks to wear, and as suggested by many commenters, and my veil in case her fiance wanted to wear it. And she was extremely happy with this as a compromise. Oh, that's really sweet. She asked if she could try the dress on just to see what it would be like. I will admit I was hoping she would change her mind when she had it on. She let me do her hair and makeup however I felt like. She was laughing so hard because it reminded her of when I did her braids for school. She picked out things for me to wear too in her style just to see how I would look. And we took pictures together and danced. Oh, choking. That's so sweet. She looked beautiful in the dress. It was like I had always dreamed when she was my little girl, but she didn't look herself.
Oh.
Suddenly, I knew a lot of you had been right. I hugged her and apologized and told her to take it and do whatever she wants. Wow. She has gone home now, and some parts of me regret giving it to her. I've been teary putting away the photos, but more than that, I'm thankful that I got to see what I thought would happen and realize it wasn't right, and that I can say goodbye to the expectations I had for so long. My daughter is happy as herself, and it is an honor that she wants to share that with me. I'm glad that she realized that she could give that dress up. I don't think she had to. I think that she wouldn't have been homophobic if she decided she couldn't give it up. But I'm glad that she realized that she was able to give that to her daughter and make that sacrifice.
Very sweet moment.
Yeah. In response to a deleted comment, it's hard letting go of something I wanted, yes, but I realized that I had been motivated more by the fact that I wanted her to look feminine, and getting to see that in practice made me realize that wanting my daughter to wear the dress as a dress was based on outdated expectations, and it just wasn't her. I'm happy with my decision. You're going to regret it because you were caught up in the moment, says someone else. I don't regret it. Sometimes it takes a strong moment to overcome emotional inertia. And then another commenter says, this whole scene is so touching to me as a queer person because it's a battle I've experienced internally as well. There are times I still fall back on old expectations that I should be pretty and feminine, but every time I give in and try dressing up, it's exactly like this. It's not that I don't look good in a dress and makeup, but I can't look or feel like myself, and that's more important. It's really moving to me that you were able to let go of your expectations and embrace your daughter as herself. It sounds like the wedding will be beautiful and full of meaning. OP says, I know I've gone too far at times in expecting her to be feminine while thinking I was being supportive or protective. There was always a small anxiety there that she should fit in more to be accepted, even if I didn't think there was anything wrong with her. That is gone now. And that is it. That's the whole story.
That's that story. Wow.
I love it. It was so sweet.
That was a huge switch up right there at the end.
Yeah. I was happy that they talked it out. I was like, yeah, they figured it out. And then she fully switched up and was like, you know what? Actually, I think it was in part because I wanted her to wear a dress, and she can have it and change it up.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Yeah. That is very sweet.
No, I'm glad this is all worked out.
I'm glad
it's really cute.
Yeah.
But you know what else is really cute?
What's that?
Maybe this next story.
Oh.
Am I wrong for canceling our wedding? This is OKOP, home to the craziest true stories on earth. I'm Sophia and Riley. What do you think?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Doubling down.
You're totally wrong.
I'll go opposite and say no.
Okay.
You should cancel that wedding.
All feelings, no facts.
Your partner is the worst. We've been engaged for 3 years. That's a long engagement.
That is a long. What's the max you would go?
Like a year.
Year and a half maybe for the timing. But a year? Yeah.
I guess it depends on I don't know. I think maybe a year and a half. Yeah. Just because I feel like if you're getting engaged, unless Like I had a cousin who waited because it was COVID. Like unless it's some crazy thing happens, then I feel like an engagement is,
Yeah.
hurry up.
Hurry up.
We've been engaged for 3 years. My fiance went on a trip of a lifetime, 6 weeks in Europe. She decided that we would take a break in our relationship, allowing me no input in the decision. That's a huge red flag. I think straight off the bat, end this engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
That's so strange. I called her the day she left and had me blocked. Oh my God. Oh my God. So I canceled our marriage and her moving in with me in March. Before we even go any further, this is so obviously like she blocked you and told you that she wanted a break from the relationship. That is so fair to cancel a marriage.
Yeah, that's like breaking up. If someone says we should take a break, we're breaking up.
I don't think necessarily it's breaking up, but I think if you're about to get married, that is absolutely grounds for calling off the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, because you can't be like, I'm going to take a break and then be in Europe with some fancy Italian dudes.
No. And block your partner who engaged to you, who you're engaged to. Mm-mm. She called me today to inform me of her arrival time on Thursday morning, to which I answered, what does that have to do with me? And since then, blocked her. Edit, I should explain better. I was fine with her trip with her old college sisters. In fact, I dropped her off at the airport and took her to boarding. That is when she dropped the whole break thing on me. Didn't explain it, just told me matter of fact and left. I called her the rest of the day and tried to call her when I was able to the rest of the week. After 5 days of ignoring me, I had enough and the wedding was off. She can move in with someone else because it's not going to be me. And there is an update. We have a group chat among people close to us. Today, I informed them all that our marriage is canceled and our relationship is over.
Oh,
wow. Did that about 10 a.m. The chat quite literally exploded, starting with questions about what happened, which I answered honestly. About 2 p.m., she started just asking me to call her so we could discuss this. I told her that talking on chat is perfectly fine. What? No. She said, no, this is something between just us. Still have not spoken with her last message from her at 6 p.m. Please pick me up at the airport so we can talk this out as planned. I answered her, that was your plan, not mine. None of this was my plan. Her flight is at 9 a.m. I wish her luck. Okay. I think it's fair that they're canceling or that he's calling off the marriage. However, I think he should talk to her one-on-one.
Yeah, he should talk to her one-on-one.
Yeah.
But
I think he owes her that much.
Yeah, but like she can't expect him to pick him up at the airport.
No.
Pick a different time.
I don't think that she should expect anything from him like relationship wise, but I think they do have to have a conversation about it.
It feels like she just needs a ride from the airport.
She's like, please pick me up.
As we planned. You have to be here.
You have to be here. Talk. And then we're on a break.
But he might not feel comfortable talking to her one-on-one.
I just think they need to have a face-to-face chat because to like tell a whole group chat before actually having a conversation with your fiance, a little weird.
Little weird.
Yeah. But there are some relevant comments. OP on whether the ex said anything. Yes, she said for the duration of the trip, we are taking a break from our relationship. I got angry and asked her, what the hell does that mean? She said we would talk about it when she got back. No. She waited till she was boarding to tell me about the break part. I was okay with the trip until then. She was going with 5 girls from college. And then Muffin Fairy says, that is absolutely wild that she did that. Has she done stuff like this before? OP says, no, this was a first.
Wow.
I felt very ambushed, her telling me about the break as she was about to board for her flight out. Dim Grund 71 says, not wrong, but please follow up. Unless she's still blocked, what is her reaction? I guess if it were me and my partner wanted to take a 6-week break like that, I would dump them too. And if I was asked why, I would say that they had blocked me from their life for 6 weeks. And I decided that I was okay with that and much more. But what about your family and friends? Is anyone trying to defend her? OP says, yes. It seems she has called a few friends in our circle of friends. They started blowing up my phone last night, asking what is going on. And then someone else asks, does OP's family know? Told my parents immediately. They were shocked. Our friends, I waited, I shouldn't have, but I was embarrassed and depressed. Spent most of the last few weeks feeling sorry for myself and pain shopping. I sent out a message to our group chat informing them that our wedding and relationship are off and my phone has been blowing up ever since. Yikes. Like why are it seems like the friends are really on the fiance side, which is weird because she literally just like left for 6 weeks. I feel like they're not getting all the information.
Yeah, we need a sit down conversation around a round table.
Yeah, and
discuss.
Give the dish.
That would be. I feel like you can only do that a few times.
Sit around a round table
and like just dish issues like this around.
Yeah, you get 3 round table discussions in your life. You have to choose them very carefully. Choose them wisely. I am Fear the Fuzzy says, you're not wrong, but you were not engaged. It doesn't take 3 years. Did you have a date set? OP says August 10th, we've been saving to buy a house. Were they not engaged? I'm confused.
Oh, so they've been engaged for 3 years. They're like, it doesn't take 3 years to get married. What was your date?
Yeah.
And then he said August 10th.
Interesting. OP on the X and her social media presence those 6 weeks. I was blocked everywhere I could think of.
That is very strange.
That's so strange. That is not okay. That's really weird. And this is from a woman who posts pics of her breakfast. So she posted no pics of a huge 6-week vacation. It's a straight up cover up. On getting the ring back. It was my grandmother's, so I want it back. And I have a plan going to make it a term of her getting a face-to-face talk like she wants. And yes, it's going to be in a public place like a coffee shop.
Ooh, yep. As it should be.
Good idea. She definitely deserves, you definitely need a face-to-face talk. But oh my God, she blocked you for 6 weeks?
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Of someone that sounds like they post regularly.
Yeah.
What were you doing? She was not doing anything good.
No. No, that's what I'm worried about. I'm like, did she want this break so she could cheat on you?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. And there is an update. First off, I got my ring back and it's safe with my mom. That's good. Secondly, I would like to thank everyone for keeping me grounded while I was doubting myself. I'm not sure who said it, but someone said that I shouldn't bother with what she did on her trip and focus on her breaking up with me at the airport, which I did. And it was not what she was prepared to argue about. So now she knows how it feels to be blindsided also. Seems her college sisters told her I would be insecure and fight about something I couldn't hope to prove. So when I didn't, she didn't know what to do. At one point, she excused herself to go to the restroom and didn't come back for 20 minutes. Seems the brain trust was at a loss too. Oh, so do you have any vacation ideas?
The brain trust?
I don't know what that means. I think maybe like she needed to go collect her thoughts because she didn't have any excuses for what he brought up. Because I feel like she probably expected for him to be like, you cheated on me while you were away. And she had all these things like, no, I didn't. Like, I can't believe you would think that. You have no trust in me. And then he was like, no, you blocked me and, told me that we were on a break right before leaving. Yeah.
Dude, anytime I have any more relationship advice, I'm going to Reddit.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal because he probably read all these comments and was like, well, if she says this, say that. If you did it. Every scenario whatsoever is here.
They had all of the backups and
backups.
Relevant comments though. McRonan77 said, did she attempt to explain or justify her springing a breakup on you as she boards the plan or blocking you on everything? OP said she even tried to change the subject to what happened on the trip instead of what happened between us at the airport. That is what she prepared for. It's like when you're on a test and you get like an essay question that you weren't really prepared for. And so you try to like gear it towards something that you have.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what she's changed the question.
Yeah. You changed the question.
How are you doing today? So the weather has been at a significant decline.
As you can see by the, oh wait, no. John 23456 says, how far did you let her get? I admit I'm a little interested in the story they came up with. OP says, I told her what she did after she broke up with me wasn't any of my business, so I could care less. So true. Snaps. Have her parents reached out? Spoke with her parents last night. Woke me up. They must have forgotten about the time difference between coasts. They offered to pay for couples therapy to help us work through this rough patch, as her mother called it. Told them, no thank you. She ended our relationship. I like that he's holding his ground.
Yeah.
Do her parents know the truth? She told them a watered down version where I'm overreacting. I told them exactly what happened. And she made it out that while on vacation, she would be unavailable to communicate with, where I told them exactly what was said. That is such BS because I was on a 3-month trip and I like talked to my mom like maybe once a day.
Really?
Maybe every other day.
Yeah, I like called my mom like every 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
They're like, are you
No, like,
alive?
I talked to like my friend. I mean, certain friends, it was harder to talk to every day, but I definitely talked to them at least once to 2 times a week.
Mm.
So yeah, no, this is outrageous. And like, much less, this is a fiance.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. And yeah, also she lied. Like, it's not even that she wasn't able to communicate. She blocked him. Has OP checked her social media since? I stupidly, I know, checked to see if I was still blocked on her socials. And amazingly yesterday, she posted 30 pictures from her trip and a full recap of what they did and saw. The pictures are of places in France, Italy, and Spain. Most are group shots with all 6 of them, like tourist style ones, and others are churches and museums and a few shops. All are during the day, like a tour or something. And who were her friends on the trip? These were her college sorority sisters that chat on Facebook Messenger, but few and far between. I have only met 2 of them a few times, and they were nice enough to me.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then the ex on reaching out since, it's funny how a woman can do creepy stalker and it's fine, but a guy does the same thing and he's straight up going to jail. Baffling to me. She's leaving letters for me with people she knows I will interact with, like the security guy at my building, with my receptionist at work. The letters are little more than pleading with me to not throw us away for nothing and professing her love for me. That's strange.
Dang it. Is it strange?
That
I wouldn't do anything.
I don't know if I would.
Okay,
I don't know if I would go so far as to say it's stalkery.
Yeah, I'm saying if I had a letter and I wanted someone to have it, but I knew they weren't going to give contact, I'd write one big letter, give it to someone I know will give it to them directly, and then just leave it at that.
Yeah, I think leaving one letter is fine because you can be like, this is like what I wanted to say to you. Read it if you can or not. But leaving multiple letters with just like a bunch of random people is weird.
I can find you. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
You can't hide from me.
OP heads to Scotland for a vacation.
Let's go.
Love it. I'm leaving Monday and my old college roommate lives in Edinburgh. So I'm going to do some pub crawling with them and see if Scottish food is really a dare. I would like to thank everyone for helping me stand back up. I was depressed and feeling quite worthless. I leave tomorrow for my first trip across the pond, I think they say. I'm going to nerd out with my buddy and explore Edinburgh, which in the pics I looked at seems amazing. It is amazing. I loved it. It was my favorite place. I will try to keep my Reddit family updated as much as I can. Once again, thank you all so much. And they also add, the craziest thing, my cell phone worked just fine in Europe. Who knew? I love it. And then other people asked if the ex had tried calling since. Noise23 says, did she call you again? OP says she's blocked, but keeps asking in group chat for me to please call her. Noise23 says, I get she understands that she destroyed the relationship. OP says she's starting to take a beating in our group chat. Seems the shock has worn off and our friends are realizing how effed up what she did really was. Okay, I'm glad they're on his side now. Noise, exactly what she deserved. And OP says, she keeps apologizing, but not what she is apologizing for. I'm assuming that means she keeps apologizing, but not for what she should be apologizing for. She can't even defend herself without making it worse, which would be funny if it wasn't me on the receiving end of this crap. And if she doesn't drop out of our chat group, our friends are really starting to give her shit about it. She keeps saying she's sorry and that as soon as I'm ready to talk and work through this, she'll be waiting. And she confirmed that she ghosted me since she apologized for it on our group chat last night. She is spinning that she was getting nervous about the wedding and wanted some time off to think. Which isn't necessarily like, if she wanted some time to think, that's not necessarily the end of the relationship. Yeah, it's just the fact that she didn't communicate any of this.
Didn't communicate and then blocked him on everything.
No, if she was having these feelings, I think this is what she should have done. She should have been like, hey, I'm feeling a little bit nervous about the wedding. Like I'm having some, maybe not second thoughts, but I'm having just like some thoughts about it. And I think I need some time to think about it alone.
I might not be texting you back as much.
I might not be texting you back as much, but I still love you and I still care about this relationship. I just need to like collect my thoughts.
And then if he didn't respect that, then you have the right to end it. But
at that point, yeah.
Completely.
But like just silence, radio silence.
And the blocking to me.
The blocking is weird.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, that's too far.
Insane.
But that's that's the entirety of our story.
Yeah. What would you guys do differently?
Yeah. Would you break up with this person? Would you end the engagement? Or would you, like OP, break up and then go off to Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Because I probably would do that.
Yeah.
I would love to travel.
Yeah. Also, if you guys are like free on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, come join our
streams.
Yeah, they're fun. We're about to do one here in 30 minutes our
30
time.
minutes. Yeah.
But
hop on. You won't. I mean, this will be after that, but
oh yeah,
retroactively hop on.
Retroactively hop on. That's us. Yeah.
That's us. That's a wrap.
Wrap.
If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.